But it was too late. Many were already contaminated.
Što smatramo da je sigurno agens za koga mi smatramo da je osiromašeni uranijum prouzrokovao pojavu ovih vrsta malignih oboljenja. Ova maligna oboljenja se javljaju kako kod odraslih, tako i kod djece. Imamo vrlo karakterističan slučaj dvije osobe, jedno je dijete od 4 godine, a druga odrasla osoba od 24 godine, koji su stali jedan pored drugoga 95. godine, neposredno su bili uz mjesto koje je bilo bombardovano i jedno i drugo za godinu i po dana posle toga obolili su od leukemije i umrli.
Over the next 5 years, nearly a third of the 3,500 people resettled from Hachichi died. Cancer claimed 1,112 lives. Novi Pazar in Serbia. The Muslim-majority city is right on the border with Kosovo. Because of the Serbian tactic of hiding tanks in residential areas, few uranium rounds hit their targets. When NATO intervened in Kosovo in 1999, it fired off 10 tons of uranium ammunition. On the night of the 24th of April, NATO planes attacked the Serbian garrison, but they also hit homes. The extremely high cancer rates seen in Bosnia are now repeated in Kosovo. The sharpest rise noted is in leukemia, and the sick in Novi Pazar are getting younger.
In that bombarding, there don't have any place that you can hide from that. I was on window one day when was bombarding. I think that bombarding or something big reason destroy my body to I get leukemia. It's not disease that was in my body a long time. I have child and I want to be his mother for all his life. That is the only fight. Fight for a reason, fight for life just because of him and then because of me and the other family. That is my last wish.
Striking numbers of leukemia cases also among the Italian, Spanish, and Portuguese soldiers serving in Kosovo. There's talk of a Balkan syndrome, a parallel to Gulf War syndrome. Officially, it's claimed there are no special health problems among the German troops in Kosovo. But this internal document shows that the Bundeswehr at Prizren has had to contend with some unusual pulmonary disorders.
Nach aller wissenschaftlichen Erkenntnis und nach aller medizinischen Erfahrung ist insbesondere bei eingesetzten Soldaten das Strahlenrisiko vernachlässigbar.
So the possession of a single uranium shell gets Professor Gunther a hefty fine for releasing ionizing radiation. Yet a serving defense ministry claims that uranium ammunition used in war presents a negligible risk. Straight after the bombing, Serbian troops mark and secure areas contaminated by uranium shells.
Imajući u vidu da je osiromašeni uran, znači radioaktivni element koji ima vreme poluraspada 4,5 milijardi godina i da je maltene večan ako bi ostao na tom prostoru. Znači naš je cilj bio da to uklonimo i da time izvor opasnosti ili potencijalnu opasnost smanjimo na najmanju moguću meru i onemogućimo da taj osiromašeni uran pređe u lanac ishrane, u podzemne vode i time ugrozi stanovništvo, životinje i životnu sredinu.
Pa ja od muža mi snaha za vratom. Jedan put se razboli u Beograd, za 15 dana umri. Kosa je sva spala, za 15 dana Umre mlada, 59. godište. Od čega sad predviđaju da je ono što je najgore, otkud znam sad šta je. Nikad nije bila bolesna.
Both in Kosovo and in Serbia, the UN Environment Agency found traces of uranium dust in the soil, air, and groundwater. Even so, NATO still maintains there's no need for a cleanup.
Naravno, mi nismo te njihove zaključke, da kažem, prihvatili, jer je naš osnovni cilj bio da je to radioaktivna municija, da je to municija koja izaziva, može da izazove razna oboljenja kod ljudi, da traje opasnost maltene večno.
In November 2003, the Serbian army completed the rehabilitation of the first two areas. This involved digging up the uranium ammunition piece by piece and disposing of the contaminated earth at a toxic waste facility. Basra, October 2003. This city, with a population of 500,000, saw fierce fighting in both Gulf Wars. Today, it's under British occupation. The British actually said they removed contaminated tanks, but in the suburb of Abu Qasib, where a major tank battle was fought in the recent Iraq War, Tedd Weyman comes across a number of tanks hit by uranium shells.
We took readings from it yesterday. Has 20,000 times radioactivity beyond background levels. This is a DU penetrator, very high radioactivity levels. Actually went into this building across the street, an ice factory. We found over here in this battlefield radioactive levels that were approaching 30,000 times background.
Those were the highest levels Tedd Weyman found on this trip to Iraq. They sent the Geiger counter needle to the very end of the scale and triggered an audio alarm warning the user to leave the location at once.
This is drain water, just dirty water, and we'll see if we can find what's in this in the laboratory.
The water is dripping out of the ice factory's storage tank, which was hit by a stray round of ammunition during the fighting. Tedd Weyman is afraid the projectile could still be in the water.
Da in dem Gebiet von der Eisfabrik sind die Proben, die wir daher haben, sind generell hoch. Und da haben wir auch der Hauptteil des Urans, was sich da im Wasser befindet, 85%, sind auch dieses abgereicherte Uran. 6 oder 8 Mal so hohe Konzentration Uran, als es jetzt zum Beispiel von der Weltgesundheitsorganisation erlaubt, überhaupt im Wasser drin zu haben. Das Wasser ist ganz klar kontaminiert und dürfte halt nach Richtlinie her auf jeden Fall nicht mehr benutzt werden als Trinkwasser.
Dr. Axel Geddes has now analyzed the urine of soldiers returning from the recent Iraq War. Nearly half of them showed very high uranium levels.
Wir konnten bei ungefähr der Hälfte oder bei 40% der Proben konnten wir nachweisen, dass sie ein abgereichtes Uran ausscheiden. Wir konnten nachweisen, dass da eben 30–40% kontaminiert sind.
One thing worried the researcher in particular. His ultra-sensitive equipment showed that nearly all of the urine and soil samples from Iraq contained highly radioactive uranium-236.
Überall da haben wir auch das Uran-236 gefunden. Und da muss man zu sagen, das Uran-236 kommt in der Natur nicht vor. Das ist ein Isotop, was vom Mensch gemacht wurde in Atomkraftwerken. Aus diesem Uran, was aus den Wiederaufbereitungsanlagen aufkommt, gibt es natürlich dann auch Spuren von Plutonium und eventuell noch anderen Actiniden. Aber das sind alles Isotope, die alle natürlich radioaktiv sind und über den Inhalationsprozess auch viel effektiver auf den Körper, auf die Zellen einwirken können.
Plutonium is the most toxic substance on Earth, 1,000 times more toxic than depleted uranium. From here, the wind carries the fine invisible dust of uranium and plutonium particles to neighboring countries. Although the residues of war have been shown to include dirty uranium from reprocessing, the British and Americans are not bothering to dispose of their radioactive waste. The case that it is too dangerous is not proven, they say, but a growing number of scientists agree with Professor Gunther.
Unsere Chromosomenstudie zeigt, dass Professor Gunther 1991-92 zu Recht einen Zusammenhang zwischen der Anwendung von Uranmunition und schweren Krankheitsbildern vermutet hat, sondern auch, dass die Anwendung von Uranwaffen ein Kriegsverbrechen ist.